A mother in Texas drugged her 3 children with NyQuil and then tried to drown them in a pond. Investigators discovered an emaciated cat while investigating the near drowning incident in Liberty County, Texas, leading to the arrest of the woman's husband. A Texas mother allegedly tried to drown her 3 children in a pond at their $3 million Liberty County home after drugging them with NyQuil. Police are investigating both the 39-year-old mother and the 61-year-old husband. As the circumstances around the alleged incident continue to puzzle law enforcement. Around 6 a.m. on Monday, Quintana called 911, reporting that his wife poisoned his children with NyQuil and attempted to drown them. The names of the mother and children have not been publicly released. When deputies arrived, they found the wet children with Quintana, who claimed he'd saved them. Their mother was unresponsive in the water, but still had a heartbeat. She was taken to a hospital where she remained in critical condition as of Tuesday evening. The children ages 6, 11, and 15 were also hospitalized. The 11-year-old remained in critical condition as of Tuesday night, while the other kids were recovering. Captain David Myers says police do not have a specific focus on either parent and are looking into both during their investigation. It was bizarre and breathtaking to see what deputies and investigators faced upon arriving at the scene. Anytime children are involved, it's a heart-wrenching for all of us in law enforcement. The best thing we can do now is pray for the children and their parents. During the investigations, authorities discovered an emaciated cat locked in a non-climate controlled building with no food or water. Quintana was therefore arrested on a misdemeanor animal cruelty charge. He was booked into the Liberty County Jail on Tuesday morning. Child Protective Services has taken custody of all 3 children, who will enter foster care once released from the hospital. The Liberty County Sheriff's Office is urging the public not to jump to conclusions as the investigation is still in its early stages. What kind of mother or father, in case he's involved too, would want to drug their kid and then drown them? That's just pure evil. Now these kids are going to grow up knowing that one, if not both parents, tried to take their life.
And you're going to have 4 kids hospitalized on NyQuil, multiple bottles on scene.
The information that we received was that the children and the mother were by the water, and this came in from the dad. The children and the mother were by the water and that it was possible that the mother was trying to do something to the kids. The first arriving deputies arrived on scene. All the kids were out of the water, from what I was told. The 11-year-old was being worked on by the first deputy that arrived on scene until EMS could arrive. She did regain consciousness somewhat, but she is one of the ones that is listed in critical condition. Upon deputies arriving to the scene, the mother was still in the water and had to be pulled from the water. The mother did not she was not conscious upon bringing her out of the water at that time. She did have a heartbeat, but she was not breathing on her own, and she was not talking or coherent at all.
Be advised, we have patient update. You're going to have an underage female, unconscious but breathing. She jumped into the water after her kids. No response at this time.
He stated he heard some commotion in the front yard, possibly yelling from the kids. The father comes outside, calls 911, and it's our belief that the father is the one that pulled some of the kids out of the water. This is an active investigation. We've had investigators down at Memorial Hermann. We've got investigators behind us. We have conducted a search of the house, the residence. There's numerous locations on the house around the house that we're looking at, looking for any kind of evidence that we can find that would lead us to why this tragic event happened today. We are investigating that aspect to see if there was any type of alcohol or any type of NyQuil included in this event. In reference to yours, ma'am, the ages, we have a 15-year-old female, we have an 11-year-old female, we have a 6-year-old male. The 11-year-old female is in critical condition at Herman Hospital. She is in critical care unit. The mother is in critical condition, and I do not have her age right now, I'm sorry. The 15-year-old is in stable condition. She is talking. She is very tired. She is, she's been through a traumatic incident today involving her siblings and her parents, so she's resting well right now, I can say that. The 6-year-old is, the hospital is doing what they can to help him rest and keep him down. He's a 6-year-old child that's ready to get up and move around. But I believe it was the dad that was helping get anybody that was in the water out of the water. Upon the deputies arriving, the kids were wet, the dad was wet, and the mother was still in the water. And the deputies are the ones, I believe, that got in and got the mother out of the water.
So right now, you say you're focused on the mom as the suspect or perpetrator?
So right now we don't have a specific focus on the mom or the dad. We're looking at both and interviewing the dad. We're going to interview the kids through forensic interviews through Bridgehaven and hopefully get some answers as to what the kids tell us, and we can piece the puzzles together. And if all the evidence points towards mom, then we'll move in that direction. If it points towards dad or both, then we'll move in what direction that it leads. We'll go based on what we're told through interviews and all the evidence that we collect here on the scene. From the time he heard the commotion in the front and the screaming, it would not have taken him that long. The pond is approximately 75 to 100 feet in front of the house, and it happened on the opposite end of the pond from the house, so that would have been about another 150 feet. He did drive a vehicle down to that location. So from the time that he heard the screams and heard what he heard, it did not, I can't give you an answer as to how long it actually took him to get there, but it wouldn't have taken him that long.
So would you say the most accurate description of what happened is that the mother appears to have tried to drown her 3 children and perhaps threw herself in the water? Is that the theory you're working on?
So I believe that is what came into 911, and that's what happened. So I believe that that's what the dad originally stated when he called 911.
Was that she tried to drown?
That she was doing that, yes, ma'am.
And what did the dad say there was drugs and or other, alcohol?
So the dad was taken from here to our station, to our sheriff's office, and he was interviewed by the Texas Rangers who are assisting in the investigation. And I have not had an opportunity to speak with them in reference to what all the dad has actually said at this time.
But in the initial call, because I'm trying to figure out if you know where the whole NyQuil and alcohol...
That I don't know if that came from patrol arriving on scene and seeing alcohol near the area, or if he stated it when he called 911. That's still up in air. I'm not sure of that at this time.
Sir, what else do we know about their identities or about this family in particular?
So we don't really know a whole lot about the family. We're learning that the kids have not been enrolled in school, and they've not been in school in a little bit. I have been talking with a social worker at Memorial Hermann downtown and CPS that's downtown. We're trying to get forensic interviews set up with the children, the 15-year-old and the 6-year-old now, with Bridgehaven, which is here in Dayton. And so that's really all we know. We're unsure of his actual, where he works. We were told he sells cars, but we have nothing that proves that. We're looking into several different aspects, several different angles. We're going to go based on the evidence that we find here and go based on that. And when we can interview, hopefully the mother and the 11-year-old will be able to be interviewed within the next few days. And maybe we can find some answers as to a motive at that point in time. Right now, we can't. I can't speculate what that motive is.
Is there the mother have a history of mental issues, or?
I've not been told anything about the mother having any history of mental issues, nor the father, nor any of the kids.
How old is the mother?
That I'm sorry, I don't have that. I meant to grab it before I came down here, but I forgot.
Do we know if they're from this region, if they've been living here for a long period of time?
So we did look into that, and the property was they've owned the property and built the house that they live in now in 2017. I would describe it as bizarre and breathtaking, seeing everything that we've been faced with today and what the deputies and the investigators had to deal with upon arriving to the scene. The fact of comparing it to others, anytime kids are involved, it's always a heart-wrenching emotion that goes through all of us in law enforcement, and the best thing that we can do right now is pray for the kids and the parents, both of them. The father rode cooperatively with one of the deputies to our office, and once he was finished being interviewed by the rangers there, then he was given a ride to a family member's house, and so he's been pretty cooperative up to this point.
Can you talk to us about how the Rangers are involved in this investigation?
How they what?
How the Rangers get into the investigation? What is their role in this investigation?
So the Rangers, actually, we're very fortunate in Liberty County to have two Rangers assigned to this area, and both of them actually have offices in our building. And when we get any type of a major type call, whether it's involving death or possible death, serious bodily injury, we always reach out to them, and they're always willing to help. And we utilize them due to the fact that they're attached with DPS, and they have multiple resources of things that we can get and use from them in investigations. So we utilize them when we can and when they're available.
Are you guys investigating this as an attempted murder?
I can't answer that at this point in time. All I can say is right now we have 3 children that one critical, 2 stable. We're praying for the one that's critical, hoping that everything works out good with her, and then whichever direction the investigation leads us with the evidence, then we'll put that out at a later date. It's too early to tell what kind of charges would come on anybody at this point in time.
KPRC2 News at 10 tonight. I'm Keith Garvin. Daniela Guzman is on assignment. Investigators say they will work late into the night and into tomorrow after a suspicious near drowning in Liberty County. They say a father called 911 after his wife and 3 children ended up in a pond near FM 1008 in Dayton. The wife and their 11-year-old are fighting now for their lives. A 15-year-old and a 6-year-old were also injured but are expected to be okay. The family is being treated at Memorial Hermann Hospital in the Med Center, where we find KPRC2 News' Corley Peel. Corley?
Keith, there are still a lot of missing pieces to this story, and at this time, it's unclear who's at fault. Investigators say they are looking at both the mom and dad. Detectives say that the dad is cooperating. He was questioned and is now at a family member's house, though his wife and children are still recovering in this hospital. Sky 2 flew over this Liberty County property off FM 1080. It's where first responders rushed to the home moments after a father's frantic 911 call.
Be advised, I think 4 kids that are on scene were possibly given multiple bottles of NyQuil. You're going to have 5 patients, 1 unarmed female, unconscious but breathing, and you're going to have 4 kids off the on NyQuil. Multiple bottles on scene.
Captain David Myers with the Liberty County Sheriff's Office says it's unclear if NyQuil or alcohol were actually given to the children.
I don't know if that came from patrol arriving on scene and seeing alcohol near the area, or if he stated it when he called 911. That's still up in air. I'm not sure of that at this time.
You're going to have an underage female, unconscious but breathing. She jumped into the water after her kids. No response at this time.
The father is the one that called 911. to report the incident. He stated he heard some commotion in the front yard, possibly yelling from the kids. The father comes outside, calls 911, and it's our belief that the father is the one that pulled some of the kids out of the water.
The mother and her 11-year-old daughter seriously hurt. Neighbors say the family typically kept to themselves.
We, might have seen them pull out of their driveway a time or two, but never met them.
Investigators now trying to interview the 15 and 6-year-old to figure out what happened. As for a motive, Captain Myers says investigators are looking at several angles. He says that deputies have been called to that home in the past for an assault, but it's unclear if it was related to that family. CPS says they do not have a history with that family, but this is an ongoing investigation. We, of course, will keep you updated.